It's Velina release, so my first impression, I find that I quite like her gameplay. Wind works differently than other previous attribute. Basically, wind stays on the enemy for 30 seconds, and every attribute normally proc during wind state will trigger Vortex. Vortex is your main damage source with Velina, different than normal anomaly teams that want to proc disorders. Because there is no disorders in a wind state. This gives a new, comfier, and more synergistic game plan for characters like Jane, for example, who would want to spam her assault, rather than alternating between two attributes for disorder. Now Felina with her wind attribute also brings an anti-synergy with her. Mainly, agents with disorder-oriented playstyle and or needing disorder for their resource generation will be hurt by this wind mechanic, but I think that's okay. Not all new anomaly agents need to be a Miyabi teammate side crate. So my plan on day 1 is to test some variant of teams with Velina, namely Piper, Aria, Promeia, and Vivian. Now the best third slot of Velina team on all these team variant would be Yuzuha. I wouldn't thought that the anomaly wheelchair of Nangong Yuzuha would be dethroned so soon by Velina Yuzuha duo. But if we play Velina Yuzuha on all teams, I think that would be boring, so let's mix it up a bit. And we also want to discover some new insight on Velina gameplay. The rule for this testing is simple. I only have 40 minutes to record the run for each team, so I wouldn't consider the run in this video is optimized run. And 2, there will be no repeat use of third slot agents. So in this video, I choose to use Yuzuha for Piper Velina, since Piper needs Yuzuha more to activate her additional ability compared to the other anomaly agent. For Aria, I will be using Nangong as third slot, Promeia will be with Lycon, not really a good team to be honest, which we will be talking about later. And lastly, Vivian with Astra, which I find quite fun. Now I should point out, my Velina build in this run is very mid. I only have about 100 gold discs to roll the new drive disc. This is the best that I got right now. It's day 1 build, okay? Especially since I don't have any good 2-piece ER that has good AP and attack percent substat, and I kinda don't want to go back farming Moonlight or Swing Jazz. But before that, a word from today's sponsor, NJGM. If you are looking for a safe, affordable, and convenient top-up platform, NJGM is a go-to choice. Simply enter your UID and server info. No password or account login required. It's fast, secure, and risk-free. As a new user, you'll receive an 8% site-wide coupon. And you can also enjoy discounts of up to 22% off on popular games like Zenless. Please note, discounts may vary by region. And it's not just ZZZ. NJGM regularly runs promotion across a wide range of popular games. NJGM works with multiple global and local payment channels, so you can use the payment method that you already trust. And with NJGM being PCI-DSS certified, your every payment is encrypted and meets the highest global security benchmarks. NJGM also holds a consistently high rating with tons of genuine reviews from users worldwide over on Trustpilot. So what are you waiting for? Ready to save? Just click my link below to get started. Thanks to NJGM for sponsoring this video. I don't have Jane, so here's Piper. Piper with Velina gameplay is very comfy. With Velina, you can get 3 full stun rotation relatively easy. For comparison, Piper Vivian could also get 3 stun, but it would be 1 in a 25 run, rare and very RNG reliant. One more thing that is comfier for Piper with Velina is the rotation flow. For Piper double anomaly, you would go back and forth between the two anomaly agents. Piper's spin trigger assault, her ground slam will build more than half of the meter for the next rotation, swap to the second anomaly triggering their attribute, and then back to Piper, picking up the previous physical meter from her ground slam earlier, spinning again until triggering another assault for disorders. One problem in that game plan is most of the time, the second anomaly agents has so much slow anomaly build up to proc disorder compared to Piper, so we can get a rotation break if we don't get defensive assist for Vivian to get more feather for example. With Velina, Piper can get crazy with her edge spinning, which also makes her ultimate more useful for more assault spam in the rotation. Normally, I don't really like using Piper ultimate. Ali's signature did a lot of heavy lifting for the score and the rotation here. Overall, a pretty good Piper team. Velina might be her current best anomaly partner right now. Now Aria, Promeia, and Vivian have different playstyle than Viper with the Assault spam, as Aria has a role more close to being a vessel to inflict wind damage on the enemy, because Aria Abloom in the run will be Wind Abloom, which may be one reason why the score is not so high, considering Finn is neutral against Wind and my Velina build is mid, and Wind Abloom is calculated by Velina stats. But Aria still has a really good build-up to get more Vortex in the run. In the stun rotation, I would argue that you should focus more on the Vortex count rather than Aria Bloom count in this scenario. Every Ether Vortex by Aria can get about 3 million damage, while Wind Bloom is less than 1 million, though you should still get whatever you can to deal damage inside the stun. The rotation is not perfect, but it's good enough for the limited time of testing that I did. Even though Nangong can get 4 stun here, she is still a subpar option compared to Yuzuha. With Yuzuha as start slot, I can get 55k easy on 3 stun, and I'm confident that I can get more than 60k with enough time to grind. The reason for that is because Yuzuha build up and aftershock. There's more Vortex triggered with Yuzuha, and the damage is also higher even with less stun window. Velina Aria duo would be a better pair for wind weakness enemy, then every Aria Bloom would pack more punch on the damage. Now this score is not really good, which I agree, but I think we can learn something from this. One reason Lycon is an asymmetrical buffer in this team. His Ice Rush Shred and the DA buff Ice Rush Shred is only applied for Promeia, for the Ice Vortex and the Shatter damage. Every Wind Bloom don't get that huge buff. Well, Velina still get a 30% damage from Lycon, which is good because I don't have wind damage this 5 for her. But Lycon Drive this buff also can be applied optimally for both Promeia and Velina in this team. And as we talked before, Velina team damage will be decided by the Vortex count in the run. But Promeia Lycon can't really proc Ice Vortex as fast compared to Aria Nangong earlier. You have to remember, Finn is Ice neutral. If you ever try building Ice Anomaly with Miyabi without Yuzuha on Finn, you will understand the pain. If we change Lycon for Yuzuha, the score skyrocket. Same as Aria, I'm confident I can get more than 60k with Yuzuha as start slot here. The reason I want to try this team is towards some hypothesis. Earlier, I played Promeia Lycon Nicole, a cheap hyper carry Promeia team. The team's good, but the problem with it is Promeia resource. There's not a lot of way to generate corrosive chill for Promeia, making her a bloom count on stun only 3 instead of 4. The idea is to swap Nicole for Velina as Promeia battery. Does she solve Promeia resource problem? Yes, we can get 4 a bloom or more on stun easily with Promeia Velina since Velina also proc a bloom. That generates 15 corrosive chill. And Vortex is an easier way to generate corrosive chill rather than Disorder. But as you see here, Velina win a bloom damage isn't that good in this team. Even though Lycon did his job to get 4 stun on the rotation, the score is lackluster. I legit think that you would get a better performance by still using Nicole instead of Velina in this case. And I think this result is important. You should understand limited agents is not always an upgrade to your team, unless the 2 agents has obvious and push synergy by the developer. But you could also take this as a case of win neutral weakness bad matchup. Which also makes me wondering, if you have Promeia and pulled for Velina, but don't have Yuzuha, who would be your third slot? I tried Nicole and Zhao as third slot, the damage is not that different, maybe Nicole can get better score here, but no more than 40k. I still think Lycon is the best option here, until Remiel come out, and I think this team would perform better for the new win boss next season. Now Vivian, the score also not that high, but I find this team quite fun. Wait, don't click off yet. I know some of you may think that when people say a team is fun, it's just coping for playing bad teams. But hear me out, in this team you get to on-field Velina more, which doesn't really give anything relevant actually, but it's a unique way to play her. With Astra high frequency EX specials, Vivian have no problem exhausting her feathers for a bloom and proccing Ether Vortex. Though there is only 2 stun in the run, because Astra and Vivian has non-existent daze application, and you'll still get more score if you use Yuzuha instead of Astra here. Even though with Yuzuha, Vivian Feather may not always be fully used for a bloom, but I really have no problem playing this team. It's a low cortisol gameplay. My main problem of playing Vivian on Piper or Promeia team is RNG. You need defensive assist for Vivian Feather generation and anomaly applications. Here, I don't really find that as a problem. Now, the Vortex count in the run is still not that good, but honestly this score is higher than I expected. I also find the stun rotation with Astra ultimate for Vivian and Velina chain attack quite cool.
したい初めて背中を見た時に覚悟決めたどこまで行け